Hey, Farva.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Hey, is any of this sinking in?
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
You're dead. Dead.
What's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean Shenanigans? No. Talking about Shenanigans, right?
Welcome to the 35 millimeter podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Tracey. And
I'm Jules.
Oh, sorry. I was going
to we really nailed this one.
We did.
Great job, guys.
Indeed. There's a new voice on the 35 millimeter podcast.
We've grown by 50%.
Absolutely.
So, yes, this is Julia. This is my daughter.
Hi.
Wanted to be a part of this. Obviously, this is coming out in September, which would be a full 8 months since our last one.
Putting into work.
Yeah, real life happens, and sometimes you got to take a break. I should be Dr. Matt come next month or next month or two.
I'll be Master Tracey.
That did not sound appropriate.
It did not sound appropriate. I'll have my master's finished. Let's go with that.
There we go.
Master Trade. That's not.
I'm just part of the Master of the Universe Club at this point.
But yeah, we wanted to reboot this. We're going to use a third person. Julia, obviously my daughter, who's younger, will provide a different perspective than what we know, because Tracey, who's seen jack fucking shit as far as movie goes, me, who's seen almost everything under the sun.
So it's got a younger voice of less than 20 voice in here to kind of tell us where we're fucking up and we're stuck in our ways. And
so we can appeal to the Gen Z brands, like trying to grow our podcast, and maybe they'll listen to us. That'll help too.
We'll increase our listenership by 50%. So we'll get 2 extra viewers.
Yes. Well, we have a devout one, or my son.
No, family first.
Yeah.
But so we wanted to figure out how we're going to kick this off. And for the rest of September, we just picked random movies we wanted to talk about. And then we'll do Halloween month next month. But we're going to start this month with a well-known movie, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse.
Yep. This was, honestly, I think a surprise hit compared to what people were expecting when it first came out versus what it was. Because, I mean, this was the first Sony pure movie since The Amazing Spider-Man, right?
This was the what?
First pure Sony Spider-Man movie since The Amazing Spider-Man. Like, because with the Tom Holland, there's been Disney's kind of had their hand involved with the production.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
And
well, this movie didn't make a whole lot, but
it still did pretty good.
Yeah, a $90 million budget, and which is good for an animated movie, by the way.
Yeah,
and making just under 400 million.
Yeah, Wikipedia's got it at 384.
And this obviously has launched a franchise that a lot of people like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go out and say it's probably the second best Spider-Man story in non-comic book media, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like my first favorite. I don't like, because it's a lot different, but in a really good way for like Spider-Man media wise. It's like, hot take, I do like Miles Morales more than Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Well, I was referring to, I think Spider-Man, the PlayStation 4 game, has it beat. That's the one piece of media that I have over it.
Oh.
Which I still need to play Miles Morales.
Yeah, you do, before part 2 comes out.
All the more reasons just kind of drag it out. Oh, well.
Yeah, you drag everything out. You still haven't even seen you haven't even seen the sequel to the movie we're talking about, dude.
I know. And
it's like one of the biggest movies of the year.
I know. Somebody hasn't bought it for their Voodoo account, so I haven't gotten it yet.
Sorry, I go to the movies a lot.
Yeah. You're to the point. It's once a week, if not.
Just
more,
about,
right?
like tomorrow, I'm going to see Blue Beetle.
You're willingly going to that? Like, I think it looks interesting.
What do you mean willingly? It's Blue Beetle.
Your last few runs in with DC haven't been great. That's all I'm saying. I figured that would have scared you.
Yeah, that did not scare me. I mean, yes, you're right. Because I've watched, the last 3 DC movies, and they've been mid, hot garbage, and then what the fuck garbage.
Mid was Shazam.
No, mid was fucking Black Adam.
Oh,
And then
you think
hot
Shazam was hot?
garbage.
Huh? What's that, Julia?
I was about to say, well, the only one that's hot garbage that I know is The Flash, which is just what the fuck, I guess.
But y'all haven't seen The Flash.
I've seen bits and pieces.
I haven't. No, my question is Shazam fall on that as well as hot garbage?
Oh, yeah. Shazam's the first hot garbage.
I thought that movie was a solid B. Like, it wasn't nothing fantastic, but it wasn't bad. Like, you just have too high standards.
No, I just, wanted Lucy Liu to do more than ride a dragon like she's Daenerys for less than half the movie.
I refuse to watch it. I'm good with the first Shazam. Second one just looks so mid. I'm not gonna waste my time with it.
But back to Into the Spiderverse. I didn't see this when it came out.
I did.
I didn't either. Like, it was a DVD for me.
Mm-hmm. A DVD.
I went to see it in theaters. It was an eye-opening experience for me because, like, it was like I think it was like released around Christmas or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, Christmas present for me." So, I mean, it was pretty good. I liked it, but at the time, and I still do.
Yeah, but this is directed by Robert Persichetti. Yeah, I hope I got Robert's name right. And he got his start with late 90s Disney movies. Peter Ramsey, he was a second unit director, so he directed the B-roll stuff, not the actual action of Godzilla 1990 whatever with Matthew Broderick. And he was also the storyboard artist for Mortal Kombat, like OG Mortal Kombat.
I wonder if that meeting went, oh, cool, in the dumps. We're going to do this now.
What? Oh.
With Mortal Kombat, OG Mortal Kombat.
Wait, I know you ain't shitting on fucking 1995 Mortal Kombat.
It's decent. Like, I like it, but Annihilation was a large nostalgia breaker for me. But that's
I mean, Annihilation makes you question your fucking life. And then there's third director Rodney Rothman, this is his first directing credit. But it is, to me, interesting that with 3 directors, they were able to produce this movie. And it was written by Rothman and Phil Lord. And of course, we all know Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, who he was a producer of it. So it wasn't your standard Phil Lord and Chris Miller joint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember what I know them from. And the only thing that comes to mind is Solo. Like, that's the movie, and they left that mid.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller?
Yeah.
It's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Never seen it.
Clone High.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's.
You never watched that back in the day?
Let's see, Cloud High?
Clone High. It was like with the clones of historical figures in their high school.
Oh, no.
First season is gold. Second is just dog shit. Because I watched it on HBO. I watched it on Max, and I was like, "Oh, wow, this is not good."
Nope, I never saw it.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, and you've never seen they haven't directed a movie in a long time, but
I saw 21 Jump Street. Looking at their 21 Jump Street, but they directed it. They didn't write it.
Mm-hmm.
Lego Movie, which was fucking fantastic.
Love that movie.
And 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Solo, Spider-Man, Cocaine Bear. I need to watch that.
It's an amazing movie.
It is something.
Yeah. So like these guys got some experience writing at least comedy movies, and you kind of see that blend into here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's some very humorous parts in here. I think one thing, at least in the editorial choice, is the animation style they went, because they didn't go like this picture perfect as what you would see with a Disney production. It's very rough around the edges and kind of gives more of the like what you would see kind of associated with like graffiti or like more of like that kind of style, instead of trying to be perfect Pixar like.
Well, first off, with Disney movies, you're going to get basically the same animation every time.
Yeah.
They have a style and they don't deviate from it too much. Sony, DreamWorks, I'm trying to think of the other one, but they allow more variety in their animation. Like Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
Trying to think of others. Body with a Chance of Meatballs. Shit.
The Croods, Shrek.
Yeah. Like you see that they have a vision of the animation itself that plays into the movie.
Yeah.
And that's the same here.
Yeah. And I think it serves the film itself really well, especially because it adds in moments to where you have the dimensional kind of like haywireness. It kind of helps upset levity and appearance of it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No, I mean, y'all got it pretty good about the animation wise. I just I love the comic book feel of it, because like there are some parts where some things are like captured, like whenever Miles is has this like going through the thoughts of being bitten and going through the process. I do love that. It's like, yeah, I feel like it was more of a change in of animation than anything else I've seen in like the past couple of years.
Well, it was the first Academy Award winner for an animated movie since that wasn't made by Disney Pixar since Rango. And so, I mean, there's a lot that can be said about the animation, including like how you can pause whenever you pause it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not blurred.
It's not blurred.
Yeah, so that means it was done scene by scene, individual, like just
frame by frame. Yeah,
which I love that style of it. I'm starting to notice that more lately with like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, which I need to see, and the Puss in Boots sequel, which I thought was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did some of the same style for that movie.
They like hand drew over the CG animation.
Yeah.
In order, like, so you could just hit pause and screen cap it and put it on a wall.
Yeah.
Anywhere throughout the movie.
That is how beautiful it is.
I didn't realize that much about it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was telling Julia, I was like, I really hope that they pay these animators good.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I mean, it's not like
it was 140 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it was shady Disney just cramming it through.
Well, there's a little controversy with the third one.
Yeah, like apparently it was supposed to be like released for March, but now it's not going to be released for March not only because of the writer's strike, but because like no progress has really been made on the movie. And they were like, oh yeah, it's going to be released in March next year. No, it's not. It hasn't even been worked on yet. So.
Oh, and it might get delayed. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, it's getting delayed again, like other Sony stuff that they had on their calendar for this year and next year.
Oh, well, it might get delayed even more because if Disney's VFX artists unionize, that might create a domino effect.
Yeah,
that's good. Get your money.
That's obviously the largest pillar that would fall in that whole entire thing. So
yeah, because, I would go ahead.
And I was just going to say, I'm fine waiting the extra time to get one, a polished project, two, that you're not working like you see like in Japanese animation where a studio is working 40 to 50 people to death, 16-hour days over the course of like a week to turn out a 20-minute TV show. Like you're not getting that situation here, which I'm perfectly fine.
No, you are.
Well, I mean, like because they're kicking it back right now. But I mean, you're not.
No, I'm talking about current animation movies like that aren't delayed. Like they work their ass off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm fine waiting on the delay for the third one because of that. Like, let's not work nobody to death. Let's not.
And I mean, hell, my cousin who worked in that field, his old studio in Singapore shut down. So all those people just either lost their jobs or having to relocate.
Crazy.
Yeah. But anything else y'all want to bring up before we start?
Not really.
Nothing I can think of. Well, I'll say one thing. Because, this is Intro to Spider-Verse, there's several different Spider-Man archetypes that show up throughout it. I like the way that they introduce them with the comic book cover. Like, I found that like a nice little touch to it for it.
Right.
I like how near whenever they're about to near the end or whatever, or in the middle, they're like, oh, fuck it, we'll just do all three at once because it would get repetitive like that. So having them do the three at one time, I was like, that was pretty funny. And also you wouldn't want to have that repeated over and over.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing I like about it. They did repeat it.
Yeah.
They just did it differently. And it still was fresh when they did it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you can make the argument if they were like they're saying, if you were to do that introduction 3 times back to back over all of each of those individual, we'd be like, okay, that's a bit much.
Okay. It's just, yeah. But it still was still like what you said, it was still kept fresh just with the main 3, 4. And then the others are it's the same shit that they went through.
They should have done it for every character in the movie. Rio gets an intro. Jefferson gets an intro. Aaron gets an intro. The guy that gets hit by the donut gets an intro.
Aunt May gets an intro.
Yeah. So, but we start on these stylized cards for Sony and Columbia, and I love this intro with the song and everything about it. Like the glitching Columbia logo from previous Columbia movies.
Yeah.
Over history, which I've talked about Columbia before in the past.
Yeah. I also like the Comic Code Authority stamp you get at the end of it as well. Kind of like an homage to the golden age of comics whenever that happened, to whenever those were showing up as hey, this is good quality comic. It's not this smut that your kids are buying.
But you find out real quick that this ain't your mama's MCU because it's in association with Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which means they gave the characters and that's about it. They don't have any input on any of this, do they?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Not with this is pretty much the last piece of property that Marvel doesn't own of theirs.
This and the Hulk.
No, the Hulk reverted.
The Incredible Hulk rights reverted, but Universal still owns the rights to any solo Hulk film. That's almost in perpetuity as well.
Oh, they'll eventually get it, or just buy Disney will just buy the studio. Sony though, is really hit and miss when it comes to animation movies. Flighty with a Chance of Meatballs, you're a great movie, very fun movie. Smurfs, not so much.
It was kind of forgettable, but I mean, some of their stuff is pretty cute. Some of it just kind of drags on. Hotel Transylvania, but
Yeah. And then you have Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania with John Cena.
Greatest piece of media ever made. What do you mean?
Whatever. The only thing better than that is the Emoji Movie.
Oh my God. No, we don't talk about that.
I didn't realize that was Sony Pictures.
I did, but I just wanted to get it out of my mind forever because
I didn't realize it was a thing. Also, the Angry Bird movie is a Sony Picture movie as well.
I do like that movie.
You don't even realize that this goes on for a full minute, though. And then we get to let's do this one more time. First time they use the joke, and we get Spider-Man, who is played here by one of my favorite actors, Chris Pine.
And who looks like it, too, because holy shit, I can kind of see a resemblance.
He's also got a resemblance to the Peter Parker clone, Ben Riley, from the comics, who was fake Peter for a number of years. He's in it.
Yeah.
He's in the second one. I'm not giving away anything, Tracy. This is known.
I didn't know it, but I didn't know who Ben Riley was, so it worked
Wait,
out.
what? You didn't know who Ben Riley was?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. But we find out that Chris Pine, Spidey, has been here for 10 years, been kicking it around. I do like the Spider-Man 3 reference.
What reference?
Where he's dancing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I didn't take that as a reference. I just took it as him dancing.
you didn't realize that was the Toby dance from Spider-Man 3?
No, because I've seen Spider-Man 3 one time, and that was enough. Like, I've seen all of the older Spider-Man movies a couple times since then. I saw 3 in theaters, said, I'm done.
It actually got a shade. It's a shade better than when I originally watched it.
Topher Grace as Eddie Brock.
What's wrong with Topher Grace?
Eddie Brock is supposed to be like a muscle meathead.
Man, you ain't trying to be like quartering on YouTuber, are you?
No, I'm just saying, like, really, Topher? Spider-Man 3 was not a good movie.
But you realize real quick, this ain't the same like Marvel 616, which is the main Marvel universe, or any other Marvel Spider-Man, because like you
Spider-Man
see,
has a good life.
yeah, and you see Green Goblin, who's more, I guess, aligned with the Ultimate version.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And then we immediately transition to Miles Morales, which, have you ever read those comics?
I haven't read him. I know Brian Michael Bendis wrote those comics as like, because I know him and his wife adopted some African American kids, and they're like, we want a hero for our kids to look up to, kind of. So he created Miles Morales.
Yeah, and he came like Miles, the character, was created in the early 2010s.
Because I have the whole thing about that, about how like basically Donald Glover is the reason we have Miles Morales, like as a character in the in Spider-Verse and in comics.
In comics?
Well, yeah, because like you said, they were like made in like 2010s or like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The first appearance of Miles Morales was August 2011.
So, oh wow, I didn't realize it was that quick of a turnaround between his creation and this movie.
Well, it's Miles Morales is one of the first, I guess, new IPs in a sense that kind of really resonate with audiences for particular purposes. But
yeah, but now like Miles is like a big character within comics, within like properties too. Like he got his own game, which is not as good as the first one, but it's still good.
It's right.
Originally, the normal Marvel universe was separate from the Miles Morales universe, but they actually created an event to make Miles Morales canon in the normal Marvel universe to bring him into fold instead of having him being in the Ultimate universe.
Yeah, but what he's got, and they're still trying to figure out who the MCU Miles is going to be.
It should be Childish Gambino.
No, it shouldn't. Man, he's older than I am.
Yeah, and in the MCU, he's Uncle Aaron.
That's right. He was in Homecoming.
Yeah.
And I think that was a nod to, was it when they first announcing they're going to hire a new Spider-Man for the MCU, with that, or when they were doing Andrew Garfield Spider-Man?
Yeah, they were trying to figure out a way to bring in Donald Glover,
or his fans were casting him as Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but this Miles Morales in Spider-Verse is played by Shameik Moore. He's got some rising star power, not only with this, but he was in Dope, which was a good movie. He played Raekwon in Wu-Tang and American Saga. He doesn't have many titles, but he's growing.
Yeah, with this role, I think is like his uproar to
And here we get the first song of the soundtrack. A really amazing soundtrack.
Yep, I agree.
Have you listened to it, Tracy?
Yeah, I remember a couple years ago I asked you for your top 10 albums of all time, and that was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to it. Yeah, it's
No, I
definitely a
didn't
banger
remember
album.
that. Shit, that was a long time ago.
I remembered it. It just doesn't
That sounds about
remember.
right.
Like,
It was music. Matt didn't give a shit. He's like, God damn
no,
it.
I get asked that question all the time from my own son. Like, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite movie? I'm like, this. I don't remember those conversations. And as like we talked about the unique style of animation here, and I love that, as we'll see later, each universe has their own style too, so they differentiate.
Yeah, and that artist, that style sticks with that character throughout the universe as well, which I think was a very well done touch.
But of course, and this is my thing with Sony animation movies, is that when you watch a Sony movie, they always have to draw in fucking product placement, like the headphones, big old Sony. And I'm like, what the?
Like,
Damn
yeah,
it. I remember in Hotel Transylvania too, whenever they were like looking at their cell phone and it was a Sony phone. And I'm like, first off, nobody buys Sony phones. What are we doing?
or every laptop in a movie from Sony has a Vio laptop.
Yeah, but they never show like their new Walkmans, which I didn't even know they still made until
That's
recently.
a comeback. That's a comeback.
No, it's been out for a while, but it's just a big MP3 player, which I didn't know they still made MP3 players.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, man. They're bringing back the tape Walkman. That fucker is back.
That's a retro thing it's a light release.
I know. Like, well, I don't know why tapes are coming back, but they are.
But that Walkman, though, is like $1,500. Of course, he's heading to school, and he's like, and this is where we meet his parents, one played by Brian Tyree Henry, who plays Jefferson, who I love. Brian Tyree Henry is one of my favorite actors right now.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch Train to Busan?
Huh? You mean Bullet Train?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I've seen Bullet Train. I love Bullet Train. It was fun.
Do we know a Dylan?
And yeah, we do know a Dylan.
That fits that right.
He's all. I mean, it kind of sucks that he was in Eternals, though. Yeah.
Eternals is not bad.
No, we will disagree on that.
Oh,
but
that is something to talk about.
But
I just watched it today.
I forgot he was in Joker.
I've never seen Joker, so
wait.
Oh,
really?
Joker's great. I
never saw it. Like I was like, yeah.
It's actually really good.
But where I first learned of Brian Tyree Henry is Atlanta as Paperboy. It's fucking hilarious.
I was gonna say my first role that I recognized him from was fucking Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah. I hope he's in the second one.
He is. He's listed as credited.
Okay. And then you have Rio, played by Lauren Velez. She's the mom in the new Transformers: Rise of the Beast, which I think I'm the only one here that's seen that, which is really good.
I saw it, and for some reason, like I had Lupe above you in my tab. I just saw Thomas. I clicked on it and said, "So G.I. Joe's the end of that," and I never got a response. I'm like, "Oh," and then I looked at it 2 days later and said, "No," so I sent it to Lupe, and I was like, "Oh, whoops."
Sounds about right.
She never replied. Told me it was like whatever.
Sounds about right.
She's also been in like police procedurals or as a policeman. Like she played Lieutenant Maria in Dexter, which I've never seen.
I've never.
But I heard it like fell off the cliff after a few seasons.
I heard the new one is pretty mid, but yeah, I haven't seen it personally.
And one of the things I love is that this is Miles' story in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of Spanish with English.
Mm-hmm. Which is one of the things I really like about this movie is that it's like his Afro-Latino it's embraced, but it's not like part of his struggle. Like he is Spider-Man, but not like he doesn't struggle like with that, with also being Afro-Latino, because like Yeah, that's not his main struggle right now. His main struggle is being Spider-Man. That's one of the things I like about this movie, in my opinion.
The one thing he needs to learn though is how to tie a goddamn shoe.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's a style choice.
It's a bad choice. Get Velcro shoes.
Now he gotta have the Nike Jordans.
We need to train.
You can't have Velcro shoes in high school. You never, you'd be laughed out of that school.
No, I'm sorry, but they need to bring like that's why the Gen Z needs to make that shit popular.
What?
Velcro shoes. We're the Gen A now. It's
never gonna happen.
Well, I mean, shit.
I'm
tired of tying my shoes. I mean, I'm at the age now, like, oh, he's just an old man with his jorts and his fucking New Balance shoes to go mow. So, yeah, it makes sense that he'd wear Velcro shoes.
Yeah.
And then when I'm hanging out with you in public, Julia, with my Velcro shoes.
Yeah.
And my 4-inch shorts. I don't plan on spit shining Velcro sneakers, Tracey.
Do you not remember that? That was like one of the first viral videos ever.
No.
Yes. I
don't remember it.
I'll send you the link.
Wow. Okay.
But yes.
Like here, but you get some like characterization. Like Jefferson does not like Spider-Man.
Which, of course, no authority really does.
Wait a minute. In this... Oh, wait. Never mind. I can't give a... Fuck.
Have to watch it there.
And I do like the line, "Not your dad," gave me a laugh. Then we get to the school scene, or getting to school. Miles doesn't want to go to a private school, but Jefferson's like, "Hey, you need to have a better life than I have," and blah, blah, blah. And as a father, I get that shit.
Which I do. Oh, God.
He won some kind of like a lottery too, right? Like this is like, hey, you're getting this opportunity. Well, you were selected.
Miles said, "I won. It was because of a lottery," and Jefferson's like, "No, it wasn't." I mean, it probably was. He was probably like, it was probably a lottery system for minorities. And then we get to a very wholesome, funny moment when Miles is like leaving and Jefferson's like, "I love you." Say it back.
Say it back, Julia. Say I love you.
Yeah.
Say it. Say it.
I love you.
There we go.
And he's like over and out.
Embarrassing your children is a national pastime. I love it. I'm used
to it at this point. Judith, however, is just constantly annoyed, which is hilarious.
Dad, why you gotta be so annoying?
Why you gotta embarrass me?
But he goes in this again, his first day of school here at this very private school. And I kind of get where he's coming from, not wanting to be there because he would be a fish out of water, even though he's smart.
Yeah. It's like a weird week boarding school. Like, don't they? It seems like they have like weekends off, but like throughout the week they stay there. It's like a high school.
Yeah.
What
was it called? Vision or Vantage?
Yeah, Visions.
Yeah.
Visions, I think.
And that's
it's a STEM school, STEM charter school. Most likely, they probably get a lot of tax dollars. Miles here is going around school and trying to be cool when he walks in, which is not working out for him. Right before
very relatable.
hey. And we get a montage of him going to class, which is like read great expectation. It's like fucking Tim Robinson's 55 burgers, 55 shakes, 55 fries, 55 pizzas, 100 wings, and blah, 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 of him going to class. Like, here's great expectations, read it. Here's fucking physics, read it.
I'll do in like a week or so. Like, yeah, that's how it'd be. That's how it'd be. Except I never read Great Expectations. I've only read up till 1984 in high school.
Oh, yeah. You don't read Great Expectations until college, if you read it.
Well, we never read Homer's Odyssey either. We were talking about that sometime earlier.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to Julia, and she was like, Julia was like, "I've never read Homer's Odyssey. I'm like, what? Didn't you have
We
to read
weren't
that,
required
Tracy?
to.
Nope. I read chunks of it in college, but not high school.
Man, because I remember I had to watch that fucking television movie with Amanda Sante in school. But he goes to his last class, which is some science class, obviously. I don't think they never said the name, but he's late and he makes this relativity joke that falls flat, except for one person who is Gwen.
Or Gwanda.
Yeah.
Or Wanda.
Yeah, we don't know that it's Gwen yet. Gwen here is played by Hailee Steinfeld. Really good in True Grit. I don't think y'all have ever seen that remake with Jeff Bridges.
I saw it. It's been years, but I saw it.
It was good. Pitch Perfect, which if you're some
Pitch
millennial,
Perfect 2
and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. She's not in the first one.
I thought she was good in this one movie, Edge of 17. That's a good one. And she's in Bumblebee, apparently.
Oh, I haven't seen Bumblebee.
She's in Bumblebee. She's in Hawkeye as well.
And I thought she was okay in Hawkeye. Really nice fight with Vincent D'Onofrio at the end of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently a singer that I didn't know. And had a song for 50 Shades Freed. But the teacher figures out that Miles is trying to quit.
Yeah, like you have to try on a true false. So, you got a exactly 0 on a true false means you get 100.
Yeah, which would never happen. They'd be like, no, you got a 0, but I'm not letting you quit. This is a good teacher. Don't get me wrong. And so after this, he goes home. And he doesn't want to study, so he leaves. And then we get biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes you want to just hypnotize me. I am fucking jamming. Tracy is like, I was not. Tracy is in a whole other world right now in this.
I like the song, but I don't remember. I don't remember the song in the movie.
You don't remember that before Aaron shows up?
Like I remember the scene, but I don't remember I couldn't sing that song along with you.
Oh. And this is where we meet Aaron, Miles' uncle, Mahershala. God damn it.
Mahershala Ali. Is that it?
I want to make sure I get that right. Mahershala Ali. And he is probably one of my favorite actors over the past 10 years. Moonlight, amazing fucking movie. One of my top MCU TV show villains and Luke Cage. Yeah, Cottonmouth was amazing. I was so pissed that they killed him off.
I know, at season 1, it's episode 7 when he gets killed off. And spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. He's it's one of the best fucking seasons of TV, and then it just.
And then they're like, we got another episode. We got another 5 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a 2-time Oscar winner. One very controversial over a controversial movie. Not his role, really.
What movie?
The Green Book.
What made that so controversial?
Because it was white saviorism.
Oh, so okay.
Viggo Mortensen was the supporting actor in that movie, and then of course he won for Moonlight. And now he is the new Blade. Yeah,
for whenever it's out of pre-production hell.
Yeah, whenever I file for Social Security, I'll finally see that movie. So yeah, it's been hilarious. It was a hilarious mess before the strike, so I'm sure it's even more hilarious now.
Yeah.
It was announced in 2019. They don't even have a script for it. He was also in True Detective.
Was it season 2?
2 or 3. But I was doing some background information about him, and I was listening to a GQ interview where he gives a great conversation on how writers should incorporate systemic racism into their plots if they're going to do biopics or some time period piece. But I didn't know he played college basketball.
I didn't either.
Yeah, he played for St. Mary's. And Go ahead.
I would say, what about his first major real breakout role, House of Cards?
No, he was like in House of Cards, like season 3,
2 or 1.
Oh man, that's a show I try to forget now. Ever since Kevin Spacey's bullshit came out, and he still gets away with. Yeah. Oh man, that last season without him is such a. They were ready to be done.
Oh, I bet.
Because they were pissed that this all happened and it's all fucked with them. So you could just tell in the acting and the script and the scripts. And we get a really nice series of like relationship developments between Miles and Aaron.
Yeah.
Like the shoulder touch.
Hey.
There we go. My camera.
He's teaching them that Riz, like, hey.
And I didn't know that this, like, how important this scene is to the rest of the movie. Not only in like the next scene, but at the end of the movie. Aaron here is very encouraging of Miles's art, and which is pretty cool. Like to have that type of uncle.
Yep. Shows him a special spot to do his next tag.
Yeah, which is the fucking turtle lair.
They were just out on vacation.
Yeah, they were just like, we're going to sneak into Splinter's fucking room and do this. Oh, but while this is going on, we see the Spider 42, and we know what's about to happen. I do love the minor detail. You have to kind of blink or pay attention. Spray painting, when they were spray painting, it hits the camera.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's intentional. Like, we're going to purposely do this.
Yeah, I love that. And I think there's another scene later where that happens. But Aaron's like, I got to leave. And then all of a sudden, the spider bites Miles. And I love, like, they subvert expectations because, like, every time the spider's bitten Peter Parker in the movies, they get a big old, like, here's this person becoming Spider-Man.
Life transformation.
Yeah, he's just like.
Also, the spider was like cross-dimensional. You see it kind of shifting in and out.
Yeah. He was just like, fuck off. And of course, now he's Spider-Man, because when he wakes up the next morning, his clothes don't fit.
Everything's sticking to his fingers.
And this is when we're getting thought bubbles. Like I don't even know if they do it in today's comics. Tracy's the one who reads comics. I don't know if they do it in comics.
What, the thought bubbles?
Yeah. Like the yellow boxes in the comic.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do those like as thought bubbles, like to themselves, or they even kind of like to do the bubble up, like them thinking to themselves. But those things are actually been pared back to 2000, but that's a different conversation.
What has?
So, whenever Stan Lee was like a perfect example, Stan Lee as an artist, as a writer, like a lot of writers, he'd put those yellow blocks of text in there and it'd be like paragraphs and just on every panel.
Oh yeah, every fucking panel.
Yeah, and Brian Michael Bendis, one of the creators behind Miles Morales, kind of early 2000s, like, you know what, let's pare that back and let's let the art do more of the kind of storytelling, kind of like, hey, we don't have to tell them everything that's going on through their process in their brain, because they can see it through the art. And so they pare back some of that chat talking. So like reading a comic from the 60s can take like 15, 20 minutes. Reading a comic from the past decade could take 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I was reading early Spider-Man, and like those are in every fucking thing. Also, little boxes that refer to past issues are almost in every comic, every one of those. Like, hey, go read this fucking comic, sports fans.
Or they make a reference to like, oh, I broke my leg or got killed by attack by this guy, and it's like, see issue, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, today's binging, you can do that. Back then, you'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? I don't have this comic.
That'd mean you had to go to the comic book store and buy it.
If they had it.
But use comics for
you definitely couldn't order it online.
No.
But you could order it by mail.
You could.
speaking of mail, did you ever order anything in the back of comic books?
No, I never actually read comic books until recently.
Oh, because in the back there used to be ads.
Oh yeah, like in some of the Marvel Unlimited stuff you can see online, like it shows the ads that they have now currently versus like some of it's kind of filtered out. Or
Well,
you'll find
these would be like shitty fucking like wish.com shit that you could order for $5.
oh yeah, like or like get this new toy here or sign up for this here or here's this new secret workout regimen here.
Or
Like,
become a Sonic fan club member. Those were in the Sonic comics back in the day. But he gets to school and he's like all over the place, sweating, all this, comes up to Gwen, gets his hand stuck in her hair, which is very funny. And he's like, no one saw it. Everyone fucking saw it. It was probably recorded.
Which whenever they do interact here, I thought, because I kind of took note of this, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, he's all like, oh, like, what's your name? And she's like, oh, I'm Gwanda. And he's like, Gwanda. And she's like, yeah, it's African. And she's like, oh, fuck, no, it's South African. Because she's like, yeah, I'm white as fuck. She's like, no accent, though.
But
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and it's real important here that he only really wants to talk to Aaron.
Because if I'm correct, Jefferson Davis is not technically his dad.
In this, he is.
Okay. I didn't know if in here if they'd been his dad or like in some of the comic books and Spider-Man the game, Jefferson Davis is his stepdad.
Yeah.
So
But no, here he is. And so he's like, Miles is like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So he wanders back off to look for the spider. And when he did, his spidey sense goes off. And he stumbled on to Chris Pine fighting Green Goblin. And Miles is like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. Yeah, but Miles tries to find safety and he's saved by Spider-Man. And they have an interaction that is really like, who the fuck are you? No, who the fuck are you? And Spider-Man's like, wait, you have the same powers as me. I'm going to train you. I'll be your Obi-Wan. In a way, he is, not in the way that we expect Obi-Wan, especially for a hero's journey like this.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing I love about this is that it subverts the hero's journey. And because he's like, I need someone to train me. No one can train him.
Yeah, because his powers are just slightly different enough from everybody else. And the closest person that can train him is somebody who really doesn't fucking want to.
Yeah. But Spider-Man tries to save the day when he's fighting off everyone, and even Kingpin joins in, and this is played by Cotton Weary, his goddamn self, Liev Schreiber, obviously X-Men Origins, and
I still guilty pleasure for me.
And movie 43. You've never heard of movie 43, have you, Tracy?
Nope.
This is where he plays in this. It's a bunch of small scenes by big time actors. I think Hugh Jackman's got a ball sack for a chin.
Oh my god! Don't remind me.
Yeah, it's stupid as fuck.
I think Anna Faris and Chris Pratt are in this too, and I think they were married at the time. And she's like, "I want you to shit in my mouth" or something. Yeah.
Well, in this one with Liev Schreiber, he plays a dad who homeschools his son, but the mom gives their son his first kiss. And Liev Schreiber's character reveals he has feelings for his son too. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's
a movie. All right.
Weird. It
sounds like a shit show.
Oh, it is. It was why was this even made? Kingpin, though, obviously modeled after Frank Miller's Kingpin.
Yeah, the ridiculous proportioned bodybuilder Kingpin that's just like, you know what, I'm inhuman because.
And Kingpin here is like trying to activate a interdimensional travel machine, and everything starts fucking up. And because Green Goblin puts Spider-Man's head into the beam, it attracts other Spider-Men to come, and it blows up. Spider-Man's in bad shape, and Miles is like, what do I do? He's like, here, save the world. And he's like, well, fuck you talking about, man. And then holy fuck, like the scene I was not expecting the first time I saw this. Spider-Man gets offed.
Yeah, like I was not expecting to see that when I first saw it. I was like, okay, how are they going to do this? And then you just see Kingpin just crush him, and I'm like, oh fuck!
Like, oof.
I'm like, what the fuck? And they hear Miles. Like, you don't really get much time to absorb that scene because Prowler's like, I'm coming after you, Miles, which in a really fun chase scene. And we get home. And I love this family dynamic because he's like, I want to tell my dad, but I can't because Jefferson hates Spider-Man and all of our other issues that are coming to the forefront. But the death is announced on TV with Peter Parker's real name. And this scene is a really fucking emotional scene.
Yes, it is.
Because it's not just the music and everything that's just working and it's not just, Mary Jane played by Zoe Kravitz in here. You're floored at the end by the Stan Lee cameo.
I know, because that has a special extra gravitas to it since he's died.
Because this was a month after he died.
Oh, so this came out after. Okay.
Yeah. And his words hit really hard. Like anyone can wear the mask.
I'm really gonna.
And another thing, like the animators before he passed away, they did this. He's in every train that passes by in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a really, really good scene. And a little funny too. Miles is like, or Mary Jane's like, anyone can wear the mask. And he's like, you mean me? And dude's like, I don't think she was specifically talking to you, but okay.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. Okay. Never mind.
What?
I said, never mind. It would give something away from the second one.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it soon, I promise. Eventually.
But he's like, okay, I got to become Spider-Man. I don't have anyone to train me, and I'm fucked. But taking inspiration from the old comics he sees, which are original old comics of Spider-Man. So he is like, I'm going to jump across this building. No, the fuck I'm not. And kind of making fun of Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Whenever he's like, fly. Oh,
up away.
Up away, Web.
And but he ends up hitting the ground and breaking the hard drive Peter Parker gave him, which is basically screwed everything up.
Yeah, now he's like, oh, I'm royally fucked.
So yeah, and he doesn't know what to do, so he goes to Peter's grave because he's just not feeling like a hero. And some of this direction is amazing. Another thing they did in the animation was everything is 24 frames per second, except for Miles. Miles starts out at 12 frames per second. Yes. And by the end of the movie, he becomes 24 frames per second.
Huh.
Yeah. Because it built him up, and it's just a really good touch.
Yeah, kind of get this representation as he's progressing as a hero as opposed to just.
Exactly. And while he's talking, another Peter comes up to him, and this is Peter B. Parker, and he uses his Venom Strike, which is electrical shit, and knocks the fuck out of Peter.
Yep.
Here's Jake Johnson, which I put in my notes because he's from New Girl. Everyone that's what he's most paid. I put Jake Johnson as Nick Miller, and I was like, that's his character off New Girl. What the fuck am I doing?
That's his character. That's he plays a very Nick Miller character in this show as well. Yeah. And this movie as well.
I've never seen anything else, or if I didn't really look into it. I just know he's from New Girl. But we get the let's do this one last time, and we're going over Peter B. Parker, who's older, disillusioned, divorced from Mary Jane.
Everything he says, he was actually doing the opposite of what he's doing. I was working out, eating pizza.
I loved when he's talking about seahorses fucking and relating it to Mary Jane. I thought that was a good joke. He gets sucked in and transported to Miles's universe, and he lands in Times Square. And this is where another detail where you can tell that it's not New York City. Exactly. That leads me to my next question. Tracy, what's the 9/11 situation in this movie?
I don't know.
Did it happen?
Probably not.
Probably not. Did Spider-Man say stop 19 terrorists?
No.
No. Because you don't even see a World Trade Center or anything in this movie. Not even the new one.
Well, they didn't really do a snapshot either.
They did one. They did one. And also, like, they did call it PDNY or some shit like that.
Yeah, that one threw me off a little bit, but I get it. They didn't want to pay the rights to do the New York PD logo.
Yeah, but I just thought I was just thinking about that. I was like, what's
the situation there?
Yeah. Did Al Gore get elected?
No.
No, probably because this police force isn't, beating the shit out of minorities
that we know of.
I'm going to be optimistic in this movie.
You could be optimistic. I could be real.
No, this is a different universe, Tracy. So we get a clever run scene with Peter and Miles stuck to him. And
the officer chasing after him. And then they get stuck to a train and drags him, which don't know how Peter B. Parker's not killed by this, but okay.
Because he's Peter Parker. He has healing. Wait, you think he drags across an asphalt and he's just going to disintegrate?
Maybe. I mean, if this was invincible, yes.
Yeah. But Miles takes him to Aaron's apartment and ties him up, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And just sporadically, Miles spells out what happened. But Peter is like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm out. And we get some really good animation angles when they're on the building. So they figure out oh, fuck, since the drive's broke, we got to go back. But first they need some sloppy greasy ass burgers. And
that was discontinued in his universe, Peter B. Parker's universe.
Right. And it made me think of that fucking burger joint that was behind the bar we always went to, Tracy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That had $2 burgers that was open for 6 months.
Fuck yeah. You get drunk, you have $10 worth of that shit. It's great time. But we also see Peter is giving him terrible advice, except for the cape, because you never want a cape. And Invincible or Incredibles told us that we don't need capes. And they get to Hudson Valley to Alchemix and are thinking of a plan. And they're like, and this is Olivia Octavius. And he's like, or no, she's the head scientist. And he's like, oh, and Peter's like, oh shit, I got to rethink my biases. I love that line.
You don't realize she's like, this is the head scientist, but you don't realize who she is until
she reveals. Yeah. But you see nods to it because you see octagons.
Yeah.
And this is Lady Octopus or Olivia Octavius, played by Catherine Hahn.
Agatha herself.
And love that she's getting her flowers now.
What do you mean flowers?
She's getting respect.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Especially after WandaVision.
She was great in that.
And she's great in Glass Onion and Bad Moms.
I've not seen Bad Moms, but I mean, she's really funny. Just anytime I see her.
I mean, I'm really hoping the Agatha show was good. I'm not sure.
It looks good.
Looks good. What have you seen?
Well, I know. I think Aubrey Plaza said they said Aubrey Plaza was going to be in it.
I mean, I'm just
Julia's got the script already.
Oh,
their script writing. That's their other side.
Doc Ock and the other villains leave this room and they're getting the info, and I love the clickety clack typed out on the screen. So, but to get unstuck, which Miles has been getting stuck to the wall, he has to sing to relax. And I like
And
that. He's singing Sunflower.
Which, I mean, yeah, also relatable because I'm like, and Peter's just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Olivia comes back and Miles has to get the info while invisible.
Yeah.
Because he turns invisible.
Right. But the desktop is so fucking unorganized. Like, God damn it.
I hate people like that. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to steal the PC.
Yes.
But at the same time, we figure out this is Dr. Octopus of this universe.
Yeah.
And so they're fighting and having to run. And they run into Gwen through this.
Who saves them?
Yeah, who eventually saves them. Yeah.
Yep.
But they go into the cafeteria where all the scientists just like, let's go,
Grab
bitch.
their fucking guns.
And he make sure to take a bagel as well. Can't fight crime on empty stomach.
Right, which he throws and it hits a scientist in the background.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Like, it's kind of a blink if you miss it thing.
Yeah.
And Miles gets a web slinger now, but he's only got one and he is not getting it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Peter B is glitching, which is pretty funny. But however, you get the Spider Gwen.
It's a badass fucking haircut.
Yeah, and then we get her story.
Yep.
And of course, Spider Gwen's Gwen Stacy got bit instead of Peter Parker. That Peter Parker became the Green Goblin.
No, that Peter Parker dies
as the Green Goblin.
Yep.
No, it's inferred that.
I'm telling you.
I am very certain that he dies the same way that she dies.
Nope.
No, he's Green Goblin.
That's it. That's in the comic, dude. He became the Green Goblin.
And he dies as Green Goblin.
Okay.
That was her. That's not her Ben's or Uncle Ben's death. That's her death, though.
Yeah, like the death that affects her and like causes her to be more like, I guess, not edgy, but just more alone, I guess, and not trusting other people and all that, which is fair enough.
The Spider-Man lore. But we transition to Kingpin's motivation, which is just to get another wife and kid.
Or get his wife and kid back?
No, to get another wife and kid from a different universe.
No, it's Vanessa and his son.
From a different universe.
I mean, he wants them back. Like it's not.
So he's trying to steal another wife and son from a different universe.
He is, but he's wanting his wife and son back. Like it's not just
right, but it's like Wonder Woman 84. She wants Chris Pine back.
It's multiverse of madness. She wants her kids back.
Yeah, but it's still not her kids. She's wanting to kidnap. She's wanting to kidnap two boys.
But you can't make him realize that.
Yep.
And we get some connection between Gwen and Miles, which I think works for me. But they have to go to Aunt May's. Peter is freaking out outside because his Aunt May is dead. So he's oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. And Aunt May here is played by the phenomenal Lily Tomlin. 9 to 5, Beverly Hillbillies, 80 for Brady.
I have not seen that.
I haven't either. I
mean, I plan to watch it soon, but it's like a book club kind of situation. I'll just watch it on Paramount, like whatever. It's like, old ladies having fun. Sure.
I do love here. You can tell Miles has survivor's guilt.
Definitely.
And but this is where she reveals, we've got a whole fucking spider cave, dude, of a bunch of shit. Like spider vehicles.
Spider suits.
Yeah, spider suits. Yep. With a caped one, yes.
Yep. And Miles is like, oh, yeah.
So they're all looking around, and that's where we see the other 3 spider people show up. We have Spider-Man Noir, played by the motherfucking only Nick motherfucking Cage.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you don't know who Nick Cage is, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
you just haven't existed if you don't know who Nick Cage is. Like the only person who can play this well.
The best Ghost Rider of all time.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he's like one of 2 Ghost Rider of all time.
Who's the other one?
The one in the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And you had Sam Elliott played one in that movie as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Now he just does whatever the fuck he wants, which kudos to him.
Him as Dracula, like, yeah, doing whatever, like, just being Dracula. Fuck, yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, Tracy, if you haven't seen Renfield, you need to.
It's on my to watch list.
It's amazing. Well, it's not amazing, but it's like, it's a fun time.
And we've talked about him before on this podcast because he's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola.
Living the family dream.
But we also meet Penny Parker, which when I saw this was the first time I ever heard about Penny Parker.
Yeah, same. But it's like, a whole, like, other spider people. So you just, it makes
it's
sense.
from a manga, right?
Yeah.
SP, whatever it's called.
I think, yeah,
you there,
something
Tracy?
like that.
I mean, I haven't ever read it or nothing.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was written as kind of like let's try and latch on to the popularity of manga comparatively.
But she's played by Kimiko Glenn, who played Soho in Orange is the New Black. So, and then we have Spider-Ham, played by John Mulaney, which Spider-Ham was a parody character I think Marvel created a long time ago.
Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig.
In the Simpsons movie, that's probably what spawned it.
No, it actually, the first time showing of Spider-Ham was like the 1970s or 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
wow.
They show the respective origins, but a very abbreviated version than what we've seen because they're not the main people.
Yeah.
And I do love when Nick Cage is like, I like to fight Nazis a lot.
I like to drink the creams.
And of course, like whenever they arrive at Times Square because they can't go fucking anywhere else.
Yep.
It's just what they know is home.
But here, a really good moment. Like Miles is like, yo, I know I'm not a hero like you, but I'm the one who has to save everyone.
Exactly.
And honestly, it's the best conflict of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I have to do this, but I can't.
Yeah. It's like you guys, and they don't trust him to do it either.
Right.
Yeah, which is very, can be very discouraging, obviously.
Yeah.
And they start beating the shit out of him, just like fucking beating the shit out of him. Even Peter's like, goddamn, calm down, y'all. But so Miles leaves.
Invisible and just like, wait, come back. And
and he goes to Aaron's. And this is where we find out Aaron is the Prowler.
Which I thought was a hell of a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't see it coming because I didn't really know much about Miles Morales prior to this. And then you also like, considering the intensity of the chase scene from the beginning of the movie, from whenever in the universe Peter Parker's killed, like it just adds to it.
Yeah, and I love the suspense because Prowler's walking around the room and Miles is like trying to hide. But he finally gets away from him and he runs off, but Prowler follows him. Or Aaron follows him. And we get back to Aunt May's and Penny Parker is working on the device like a fucking geek, like eating candy and tap. And I thought it was hilarious that they put the Spider brand on this USB drive.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, really?
What's a Spider drive?
And of course we get another hilarious joke because Spider-Man Noir can't see color and he's trying to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Is this fixed? No. Is this? No.
But we get a massive fight here between the villains, and which includes now Scorpion and
Doc Ock, Prowler, Tombstone. Which I love the fight because Aunt May's like, "Are y'all going to fight here?" And Peter Noir's like, "We don't pick the ballroom, we just dance." and
she's like, "Well, fuck it. If y'all going to fight, I am too." And she just starts fucking waylaying.
Yeah.
And throughout all of this, though, Miles is like, what the fuck?
Just trying to like avoid it. Just like, I'm getting out of here.
And because
the Prowler catches him.
Yeah. And he runs off caught by Aaron, who Miles is like, dude, it's me. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then you get a really powerful moment of the movie because Kingpin shoots Aaron in the back and kills him. Miles takes him off to an alley, and this is where we get Miles is like death that impacts him. Or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this scene so much, and I really wish voice acting got more accolades than one fucking Oscar category. Like they really should, because Shameik Moore is killing it in this. The animators add to it.
Yeah, they did.
Like, because they were allowed to intentionally make Miles look ugly while he was crying. Like that was an intentional thing.
Nobody cries pretty. I mean,
right, but in movies they do.
Yeah, and this one is just like, it's his uncle got fucking shot. So it's
and
like
with a very like what I thought they were going to go with, like a subplot that might carry over. Jefferson sees this and he thinks at first Spider-Man dies, but it's dropped almost entirely later, which I'm glad. Sometimes I'm like, why did we do this? But I'm glad that they dropped it here. Like, because it means that he actually can think, and I like that. But we get back to Miles's apartment and he's pissed, like, and they spider gang shows up to, be like, hey, this is Spider-Man. You're going to lose someone you loved. And this is also where we get a nice little joke of Genki showing up, which he was going to have a bigger role originally, and he does. I think he does in the second one.
But it's just, this is like around the same time as like, the Tom Holland one. So
yeah, with Ned.
Yeah, Ned.
Which Ned in the comic, Peter B is like, yo, dude, yeah, you're not helping. Sucks to be you. You're not going to the climax. You get to stay here. And he's like, if you can use your powers, fuck it, do it. Here's the chance.
Well, if you can't, we got to keep you out here because we don't want you to be a sacrifice. Like,
a sacrifice or a liability.
Yeah.
And for all the comic relief they have, this movie's powerful moments hit so good. And because we get to probably like when Jefferson shows up to talk to him.
Yeah, and he's strung to the chair, I guess is how you.
Yeah, he's webbed. He's webbed. He's got
webbed to the chair, and he can't talk. And
yeah,
Jefferson's just pouring his heart out to him, and it's just like you see.
Yeah, you get a nice little like symbolic thing of the wall between them, and Miles is like, he's finally like, I got to do this, and so he gets out of the chair. And we get a brief montage of him becoming his own Spider-Man, making his costume and all that.
And May's like, what took you so long?
Yeah, exactly.
It took you long. And he got his, I like to call these Rocky montages.
And we get a nice little voiceover from everyone. One of the best cinematic shots in this fucking movie, goddamn, is when he jumps off the building. Like the move of him falling, but the city's upside down, so it looks like he's going up. Oh, I love that. But now Miles has become Spider-Man. And he arrives at the Kingpin's lair same time as everyone else. But Kingpin, the asshole that he is throwing a benefit for Spider-Man. And instead of looking at a white wall every fucking episode, just staring at a white wall. Is that what you're doing?
Sometimes.
You remember the Daredevil show, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, you're talking about that white painting and
yeah, when he's a kid, he stares at a white wall.
Okay.
And then he gets a painting that looks like the wall.
Yeah, like it's been like a multi-million-dollar painting that for some reason Vanessa really loves, and so like she loved it, so he loved it.
But at this dinner, Peter Parker sees Mary Jane, and it really hits him hard, and he's projecting his own Mary Jane, who would be 10 years older than this Mary Jane, but
it's a different story. And he's just
even Gwen's like, dude, stop.
Yeah, Mary Jane's like, I just need some bread, and he's like, I'm sorry I couldn't get this bread to you, and it's so funny. And
we get to the climax, really. Kingpin activates the collider, and they're ready to try to destroy this when they're ambushed, because he was like, yeah, the spider people are coming. I'm not stupid. and Miles shows up to save Peter from Doc Ock. And I love when Nick Cage calls, I think it had to be Scorpion, calls him, "Ya high bull turtle slapper." Of course, they had to give like a little emotional moment with the spider robot dying.
Oh God, yeah. I felt a little bit
with the anime like big eyes and everything. And they're about to go, 1v3 against Doc Ock, and when a semi runs her over.
That was hilarious.
It's like
done. Well, guess it's over.
And so like they finally activate the doohickey that they've been like needing the whole time.
The MacGuffin, the goober.
Yeah. So the others leave, and I love when Spider-Ham's like, "That's all, folks."
That'd be all, folks. I want to know how much they paid for him to say that line.
But it's the next line that I love is when Peter is like, "Is he allowed to say that legally?"
Yeah, it's like, oh, what?
Hey. But before Peter leaves, Kingpin's like, "Let's fucking throw down, bitch." And so we get a reversal of roles right after this, because Miles is like, "No, you need to leave, Peter. This is my universe. You got to go home."
Yep. You'll die if you don't.
And Peter's like, "Damn, I am the Obi-Wan of this story." We get this final showdown, and Kingpin is whooping that ass. He is going in like fucking Muhammad Ali, man.
Not even just
like undefeated for fucking 30 years. And until his wife and kid from another dimension shows up, and they're like, "The fuck are we seeing here? We're out. Bye."
Who are you, Dad? Why are you doing that?
What are you doing?
We're like, yeah, about that. Maybe we're glad our multiversal counterparts died, because you don't seem like a level-headed guy.
He's very short-tempered.
And at the same time, Jefferson comes in and sees the fight, and he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man, get up."
Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
And he gives Kingpin the spider touch and just fucking wrecks everything. And after this explosion, like we're wrapping things up, we have the definite deaths of civilians. Like, there are people that died. We're just not going to talk about them.
Nope.
Yep. They're not important.
Nope. Everything's fine. Just property damage. That's it. Miles calls Jefferson in another nice side-by-side shot, like where he calls him on the phone, and then he's like, "Fuck this," and he goes and hugs him.
Good job out there.
Oh, no, it's not even good job out there. Good job out there, Mr. Davis. It's more like an exaggerated Brooklyn accent. Yo, hey, yo, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, hey. Yeah, I love you, man. I'm not your dad. I'm not your son.
You don't know me. Which means they're setting up for the reveal on the second one for right. I'll find out when I watch it.
You what?
You'll find.
I'll find out when I watch it.
What was your question?
They're setting up for the reveal of Miles to Jefferson in the second one.
I can tell you no.
Okay.
Like, that's not spoiling anything that doesn't happen.
I was going to be anonymous and say like, "Oh, maybe not." But
I'll tell them if it doesn't happen. Then we get the final things. Miles is now explaining his origin.
Which he gets his own thing, which is great.
So one last time.
And Peter Parker is trying to work it out with Mary Jane. And at the end, which I didn't remember the first time I watched this, he's laying in bed and then Gwen opens a portal. I do not remember that first time I saw it.
I vaguely remembered it.
Obviously, that's the plot of the second one, but I didn't remember. Like, I was like, did they George Lucas this shit? And we get one end credit scene with in Nueva York with Spider-Man 20 Nueva. Thank you. Nueva York
with Miguel, right?
Yeah, with Miguel. Yeah. Yeah, that leads into the second one because he gets a transporter and he goes into the Spider-Man cartoon original, like 1960 something or whatever fucking year it came out.
And redoes the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, and they do the
Yeah, he's
Spider-Man.
like, oh,
Like since this movie, it's been more than 2 times that they've done that Spider-Man movie because they did it in No Way Home.
No, it wasn't ever. It's promo material in No Way Home, but it wasn't actually done in No Way Home.
Was too. It was done in the science lab.
yeah. Whenever they're like, oh, you're Peter. Oh, you're Peter. Oh, which one? Oh, Peter. Which one?
Yeah,
Okay.
and but yeah, he'll have a much larger role in the second one.
I imagine as such
And
with that ending.
so that wraps up the movie. What are your thoughts? We'll start with the youngin that just started on this podcast.
Well, like I said earlier, I feel like this was like one of the best changes like in animated movies so far because you had some that were hit or miss, but with this one, it's like it revolutionized like further movies to come. Like like I meant like Puss in Boots and even the new movie. One of my favorite Spider-Man movies. Like besides No Way Home and the OG Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Like this is one of my top 3 Spider-Man movies.
Tracy?
And yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Julia.
No, I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
no, it's fine. Like and like I mentioned, like that Afro Latino, like being Latino myself, it's like that's really good representation to have like in any media, especially superheroes, because you don't really see like you don't see that often. But here it's like it feels natural and it's not like part of the story, but it's just they embrace it, but they don't. It's not a struggle.
Yeah, it is different to see a different Spider-Man not getting the same tried and true, I guess you could say, Peter Parker Spider-Man. You're getting a bunch of different levels of it here. And I think this is also, in terms of, I earlier said probably my second favorite Spider-Man media. It's tied right there with probably No Way Home as like movie-wise, is like best movie released for Spider-Man because that movie is so well done. But I do have to say this one stands head and shoulders graphically over a lot of animated movies. I think it suits its style really well. And I think the soundtrack is a very nice touch to it as well.
This is, in my opinion, revolutionized animated movies. And I think we see that with the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, even if I haven't seen the movie, but it's still like stylized and everything like that.
Like that animation style just never gets old to me. Like it's like it feels fresh and brand new and not like stiff like other movies have been.
If I were to rank this, I would definitely put it at the top 3 of Spider-Man movies. And anything else you want to add?
Nothing I think of. Give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely like if you like animated movies, you should see it. If you like,
Yeah, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should.
if you like movies in general, you should see it.
Yeah, I just think the one downside of it being animated is that for people who aren't fans of animated movies, it might be a harder sell to get them to watch it because of that.
Right. But one thing we didn't talk about really is the multiverse itself. This movie has explained that shit better than the MCU has done in like 18 fucking projects.
Like, how are you gonna have so many movies and
between movies and TV shows, you still can't convey
the multiverse
this as good as well as this. Even Multiverse of Madness didn't do it that good.
It's perfectly fine. Okay. No, the best multiversal movies, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, yeah,
God,
but
yeah.
I'm saying like this explained the multiverse better than everything.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to get a good MCU multiversal explanation until an actual event requires multiversal people.
Yeah, whenever that fucking happens.
Sometime during the multiverse phase or saga, whenever that happens.
So, anything else you want to add?
Oh, nothing I can think of. That's
Julia?
No, I don't think so.
So what are we doing next week, Julia?
Next week,
I know Julia doesn't know.
What?
We're doing The Shadow.
Okay. No,
Fuck
yeah,
yes,
no, I remember.
we're doing
I
another
remember.
comic book movie.
Oh, that's a comic book movie?
Technically, yes, there was comics. It's actually based off the radio play.
Okay. Actually, no, I don't know what it is, but I know, like, I heard y'all talk about it.
Oh, it's something. It's a movie.
It's something indeed.
It's nothing like Spiderverse.
It's nothing good, probably.
I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, I feel like you're implying it, but you're saying it's something.
It is something. It's a movie.
Yeah. It's a movie.
I think so. I'm gonna go on a limb there. I think it's one of your dad's movies that he likes unironically, but it's not actually a great movie in itself.
So it's like I mean, I don't know if it's bad or not, but like so bad it's good for him.
No, it's not like Thanksgiving, but like it's not technically a great movie. Like it's just a good movie, but your dad loves it. So I think I'm pretty sure. I think that's how it is. And
yeah,
by the look he was giving me, I think I hit the nail on the head on that.
I think
only the shadow knows.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll find out here soon.
Yes, we will.
Under 30.
So it's been great getting back into this, honestly.
Yeah. It's gonna through growing pains, Julia's gonna come into their own and just
and Julia the editor.
Yep.
But until next week, I was Matt.
I was Tracey.
And I was Julia.
Y'all sure? Got it. Y'all sounded uneasy about that.
I don't know.
Sometimes
maybe
all right. Well,
sometimes I'm a different Tracey and go by Trace.
And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Later.